Maybe this one. Okay. So yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Ellwood City Area School District special meeting on February 23rd. Did you say what the purpose is?
No.
No? All right, we're going to first roll call.
Mr. Bazzelli, Mr. Cortez, Mrs. Gray.
Here.
Mr. Morella.
Here.
Mr. Newpower.
Here.
Mrs. Pansera.
Here.
Ms. Petrelli.
Here.
Ms. Toman.
Here.
Ms. Woodhead.
Here.
Mr. Mancini.
Here.
Mr. Carroll.
Here.
Stand for a moment of silent prayer.
Meditation.
Oh, meditation. That's right. Oh, words, sorry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take note, I am a little warm.
Are you ever warm?
Never, never, ever. Okay. Visitors?
Go ahead.
Hi.
What? Want Bob?
You want to let him present now?
Might as well.
Go ahead, Bob.
Good evening, I'm Bob Engelbaugh with HHSDR Architects, and I'm here to review the bids for the boiler replacement at Perry. We opened bids today, 3:30, a couple hours ago. So we put together for you a bid summary, a bid tabulation, and a recommendation of the contract award. This packet, bid.
It's in your folder.
Summary in your folder. So I'll go ahead and
Right
walk
side.
through that. Okay, we put out specs and drawings to replace the existing boiler at Perry. It would be replaced in the same size and the same capacity that it is now. And the other piece that goes with this, that we'll talk about too, there was an asbestos component that comes along with it due to the age of the boiler. But first on the bid results, for the boiler itself, we ended up getting 6 bids. There was a $69,000 spread from low to high, a $4,200 spread from first to second. The first 2 bidders, in fact, all of them have done work for us in the past, so all of them are reputable contractors. Wider Services is from Gibsonia, Pennsylvania. They have done, they most recently, about a year and a half ago, they did a large project for us down at Avonworth School District, and they completed that project successfully on time and with good quality. Their base bid amount of $137,810 would be their low base bid, and that's for a one-for-one replacement with a new Bryant boiler. And then we took 2 alternate bids for a substitute boiler, but we're going to reject those bids. Those are additional costs, and we would rather go with the Bryant boiler. We've had a lot of success with that. We did the alternate bid. That helps keep everybody honest when you do that. So the alternate bids were put in there for that. The bid package that we got from Water Services was complete, signed. They acknowledged the addendums. They include a bid bond and also a public works verification form we asked for. And they completed, in addition to this, some unit costs that are applied to the project if we need them as we go through the construction project. But those are included in the base bid number. So everything we looked at would indicate the Wider is our base bid low bidder. We called them. They are okay with their bid. They heard the other bids, so they acknowledged that they've made no errors on their bids. So we checked all those parts out. On the next page then is just the bid summary itself. It takes Wider Services as the low base bid of $137,810. The 2 alternates, we would officially reject those alternates, so that we would have a proposed contract amount that we would award at $137,810. The other bids we opened were for asbestos removal. The low base bid was from Clarion Environmental Services, and their low base bid was $4,567. Basically, that is to work with the heating contractor. They basically disassemble the boiler, remove the asbestos out of the sections, and then also the breaching has asbestos insulation that would be removed. That's the scope of their work. Then the heating contractor takes care of the rest of the demolition from there. But if we add those two prime contracts together, it gives a proposed contract amount of $142,377. Any questions?
I have to ask, and I'm sure you all are thinking the same thing. When we originally got the first set, we got pricing, and I know there were like estimates, but there was like $90,000 to redo the first boiler. This is, 50% more than what we were originally told. Were they just that far off?
No, the original number we investigated was the boiler proper to replace just the boiler, which was $85,000. And what we did, once we acknowledged to the manufacturer's rep that there was this emergency need for that boiler, and that they put that unit on hold at the factory. So as we go into this, I'll go through a little bit of a timeline here. We're like a month ahead of schedule because they put a hold on that boiler. The rest of the cost, from $85,000 up to the $137,000, is the installation cost for that. Originally, I know we secured that number from the manufacturer, and that was a number we knew about. So I don't know if we ever officially came up with a turnkey estimate, but the boiler proper, we did look into that, and that's where the $90,000 number came from. The rest of it is just the labor, the demolition, and also the electrical costs that come along with the removal, reinstallation of that.
How much of the electrical system needs to be replaced?
Well, it's basically a disconnect, reconnect, but there is some new wiring, some new breakers that come into the whole process. But that is all included in the base bid heating number. But the real plus was we put this hold on the boiler, because by the time we award contracts and get started, that boiler may have disappeared. And what we'll do at this point is, if you approve the contracts, I'll prepare a contract. I'll send it off to Rich for the solicitor review. If that looks in order, we would get together for a contract signing with the contractor, have an initial job conference, so we can get the project started. I know we've been blessed with good weather, but that could turn against us, and the boiler that's down there could go down. So we really need to expedite the process as best we can here. But we've taken steps to do that so far, and the boiler that's on reserve is the specified base bid boiler. So that's going to be a real help to us getting things online.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Let's say, you said in preparation of the materials that you sent out to the bidders, you expressed an immediate concern or this needs to be done immediately, correct, because of the emergency situation?
We told them that, and we gave them a completion date of April 4th. That's in the documents.
So, say we gamble and risk not replacing this boiler until the fall, would this bid go down?
Would it go down in price?
Correct.
I would imagine it would go up. Yeah, I mean, at any time, for two reasons, probably. One, contractors are going to get more and more busy right now. The other is, now everybody knows the number. So when it goes back out the bid for a rebid, everybody knows right where the numbers were. And usually when a rebid occurs, the number will go up, just because everybody knows where their competition is coming from.
Actual board open, they don't do that? Or is that only for certain things?
They, Rich, and sometimes we do it here at the board meeting, and I think for this type of projects, because we have to compare all the details of the bid, they do it not at the board meeting. I think those ones were when it was
Remember which ones
basically.
they opened?
I think we've done like general supplies.
Yeah, or athletic bids. It's easier to compare right there. There was not, well, Mr. Rosansky used to do that, I remember. And then sometimes we
No, that was
refer.
before me. This was when, I remember Jen reading, not this Jen.
You could do it at the board meeting.
I was just asking, we brought that up. Does anybody else have any questions?
I wish Steve was here. I mean, I don't know how I feel. I just feel like it's a lot of stinking money that we weren't expecting. That is the first original quote, I guess, or estimation was 180 or 190 for 2 boilers. And now, this is a big number that I wasn't expecting at all. So, I don't know how much life is left in the boiler that we have down there. This is a big investment on our part.
The only I could say it's the same age as the one that went. They were both put in the same time.
Was Mr. Schuster there when you went through the bids?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
So was he, I mean, he was comfortable with these? Wasn't
I
it a
believe
shock
so.
to him?
No.
Yeah, I agree with your comment that, you know, it's the same age as the one that went. If you're like, you know, these type of boilers are designed to last 30 to 40 years. So you're there with the one that's there now, and obviously the other one went down for that reason. That's about the maximum life you're gonna see out of that type of boiler, which is a very good track record. I mean, if you can get 40 years out of any piece of equipment, that's pretty amazing.
You're still looking at what, $30-some thousand or $40,000 in installation fees?
Yeah, typically, actually, the rule of thumb would be to double the boiler cost. So this is under that. So if we-
Double the cost of the
Yes.
boiler?
As a rule of thumb, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you might want to mention the unit costs as well.
Yeah, there's, within the body of the bidding form, we ask for unit costs. And the unit costs are there for your protection. What they do is give us bid amounts for some assigned quantities for different materials. The ones we ask for some piping, some valves, some gas piping, a motorized damper. We also have some sanitary lines that we need to replace and flush out as part of this project. Also, the project grew, we needed an air dryer, an air compressor. There were some additional programmatic items that came in. But the point of the unit cost is we try to foresee any unknown. And we bid the quantity and the material into the base bid. So the base bid amount of the 137, we have over $15,000 of unit costs built into that base bid. So that should take care of any potential unknown out there. If we don't run into any of those unknowns, then you get that $15,000 back as a deduct change order at the end of the project. So that 137 definitely has the potential to go down $15,000 if, you know, there's only so much we could do to discover how much the old 45-year-old Ford drain is working or not working. So we wanted to buy cleaning and restoring it as part of the contract, and those unit costs do that for you. So we try to, out of the gate, know every potential cost, so we don't have to come back to you for an add change order. Hopefully the good news is we're back in May with some sort of maybe a $10,000 deduct change order at the end of the project.
What was the name of the boiler that,
It's a Bryant
It's a
boiler, was the
Bryant.
base bid, which is a cast iron.
and does that have a warranty also, like these other ones?
Yeah, it's a
you say that
5-year
It has a
warranty.
5-year warranty also?
Usually we have a good working relationship with that boiler manufacturer, and I was talking to Jim before the meeting, and he's gonna push for an increased time limit on that warranty, which is just, we do that with roofs, for instance. If we have a good rapport with the roofing manufacturer, we can get additional warranty coverage for you. So we'll be doing that, but it's specified as a 5-year complete warranty, and you own that in the documents right now, and we're gonna get a better warranty for you. So. So it's a cast iron flexible tube boiler, that's the standard in the industry. That's the kind you want to last 30 or 40 years.
Thank you very much. No other questions?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, let's move on to revenue and finance. Mrs. Gray?
2014-15 audit report. Bill Kleiner Company has completed the audit report for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2015. The representatives of the firm have reviewed it with the board and administrative staff. An examination of the records of the general capital reserve, cafeteria, athletic facility, and activity funds, as well as various federal and state programs, indicate no material discrepancies have been found and that the district was in compliance with all laws, regulations, and standards for the audit of government organizations. I move that the audit report be approved as presented and that the business manager be authorized to file the report with Voluntary of Lawrence County and other appropriate organizations.
Second.
Anybody have any questions?
You guys had the meeting, how'd that go?
Well,
It was informative, like,
just going over the details of the debt, I guess. I mean, just weren't really asking some very specific questions, just kind of wanted to get a broader understanding of it also.
Well, I think they have to, they report the same information in like 5 different ways. It's kind of, it is confusing because they're redundant, they're slightly different.
When you hear $35 million debt,
It's
it's
scary.
like, wow.
but yeah, further explanation was nice.
All right, no objections to the motion? Motion approved.
Perry Lower Intermediate boiler bids. In your folder is a bid tabulation for the boiler replacement for Perry Lower Intermediate School. I move the boiler replacement replacement contract be awarded to Weeder Services of Gibsonia, PA at a low bid price $137,810. Cannot read tonight, sorry.
Second. Mr. Newpower, any questions?
Roll call.
Roll call.
Okay. Mrs. Gray,
Yes.
Mr. Morella,
Yes.
Mr. Newpower,
Yes.
Mrs. Panzera,
Yes.
Ms. Petrelli,
Yes.
Ms. Toman,
Yes.
Mrs. Woodhead.
Yes.
Motion approved.
In your folder is a bid tabulation for the asbestos abatement for the boiler replacement for Perry Lower Intermediate School. I move the contract be awarded to Clarion Environmental, Clarion, PA at a low bid price of $4,567.
Second.
Mr. Morella, any questions? Objections? Motion approved. Moving on to personnel, Mr. Morella, please.
Thank you. Number 7, under Personnel, Memorandum of Understanding, FMLA Policy. In your folder is a copy of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Ellwood City Area School District and the Ellwood Area Education Association concerning the revision and implementation of the district's family medical leave policy and grievance number 01-2015-16. I move that the Memorandum of Understanding be approved as presented.
I second it.
Mrs. Woodhead? Questions? Can you tell me quickly what exactly was changed? Because I'm just not remembering exactly what was changed.
From the last time you saw a draft of the MOU?
Like, on this one, we just changed something to,
We added,
And
and if they qualify, in paragraph 1,
okay,
and the employee qualifies for the FMLA.
so this is what's changed, number 1. Thank you. Any other questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
Number 8, Memorandum of Understanding, Off-Scale Special Education Payments. In your folder is a copy of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Ellwood City Area School District and the Ellwood Area Education Association concerning off-scale special education payments, grievance number 02-2015-16. I move that this Memorandum of Understanding be approved as presented.
Second.
questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
Number 8, unpaid child care leave. I move that Kim Frampton be granted an unpaid child care under the terms and conditions outlined in the agreement between the district and the Ellwood Education Association. The leave would be effective at the conclusion of her FMLA leave and would last through the 2016-17 school year.
Second? I second it. Any questions?
Can I make a statement, Mr. Trello?
Of course.
I just want to make the board aware that the unpaid child care leave can be for a period of a year. Traditionally, it's for a period of a year. It can be extended at the discretion of the board. She has asked for beyond a year because it doesn't make a lot of sense for her to start in April and come back in April 2017. So the leave you would be approving goes beyond a year. It's about a year and a couple of months. I would go through the entire 2016-17 school year.
Wow. Did we know that prior to, that it was over a year? I don't remember hearing that it was that long.
Well,
I
she
know.
just made this request.
FMLA, this is unpaid child care leave. In the contract, they can get 1 year of that.
Okay.
So she's asking for April for it to start. She's thinking, why come back in April? You only have 1 month to teach. If she would just, sit the rest of the year. So her year plus maybe a month or two.
What does
So-
that do to us as far as she's
Well-
got an important,
Well, what we would do is, right now, there's a sub in there now,
Right.
who is right now emergency certified, because we couldn't find a bio teacher. So what we'll do is open that position up,
okay.
advertise, look for a full year substitute with a bio degree.
Okay.
And then,
We can't
teach
really-
that full year, or, so.
Okay.
So we would open it back up, interview for a biology certified teacher in that position.
And it's in our benefit to extend the leave beyond the year so that
The
you're
kids
not
have the.
transitioning right there.
Exactly.
For 2 months,
Especially-
right.
Right.
That's right around the AP test also, so. And Mr. Labe could also, we have 2 biology teachers, he could, maybe move that bio teacher into that AP and Bio 2 classes that she teaches, which is the higher end. And maybe hire somebody for the Bio 1 classes that she teaches. So you get an experienced teacher working with those Biology 2 AP Bio students, and you hire somebody temporarily for 1 year so there's some options there. So no matter what, we're going to have to look for a biology teacher.
That was my main concern, because I know who's in there now was the actual bio
Right.
teacher, and
If
I
you
wasn't
just finish it
comfortable
out
a
the-
whole year of that being
No,
left.
we would open it, he knows that. Because that emergency certification is only good for a year, you can't extend that.
What with her health insurance
She's gonna have to buy her own. Unpaid is without medical insurance.
from us?
Well, she can do whatever she wants to do. She can secure it wherever she wants to secure it. She has the opportunity to purchase it from us, but I'm not so sure what she'll get it cost.
Is it cool?
she gets COBRA.
She has an opportunity for COBRA.
So it's like 105% of our costs on our COBRA. It's probably too pricey a venture. I
Yeah,
guess.
Right, but it's on her though, to secure.
Yeah.
And she, any leave, any sick days, everything's exhausted at this point, right?
Well, they're allowed to keep some now
All
because of
but
the new.
maybe 10 days of paid sick leave.
What we just changed.
But I mean, if
Allows her
she,
to keep that.
since she's already on the FMLA and going off for a year, that'll still be there?
The 10 sick days, she preserved 10 sick days.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, motion approved.
That's all I have under personnel.
There was no objection. Okay. I got it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Two things, quick. Under recognition and communication, I know I'm not gonna say it right, Erica, what, the Tamba?
Tamburitzins.
Thank you. Which organization, is that the one?
Rotary.
Rotary.
It's the Rotary.
Oh goodness, there's a lot of them.
Well, Dave Brammer's in the one organizing.
mine.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
there you go.
Okay. Okay.
He's been communicating with us as far as getting it.
Well, I was told about it, and I read the quick article in the newspaper. My question is, can't we put a little blurb up on our little sign out front about getting tickets? Because from my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's 100% back to the kids.
Because this is a Rotary Scholarship Fund.
Right, which is going right back out to the kids, so
Okay.
we'd like to see if we can't just kind of give them a little bit more publicity on it and
Yep.
get ticket sales up and do what we can to help. I guess there's a couple of our students that are, is she the only one?
What about one for Mr. Lincoln on Sunday?
Yeah, what all gets put out there on that?
Sovich runs that with students come down and program it. He gets a list from teachers who have stuff going on and, so, yeah.
Because it's good to be able to put things, that, especially that our kids are involved in, that, because you figure all these parents are coming every day to pick up and drop off. And that would be a
Okay.
great thing to get up on there. The only other thing that I had under new business is we talked about getting the survey up and everybody getting a couple questions together. I sent a quick email out and I was just curious on feedback so we can get the questions started.
Did you get my email?
Today?
Yeah.
If it was after I passed out at
Probably
noon,
not.
I did not. Sorry, I was pretty much out of it from 1 o'clock on.
As I mentioned before, I have climate surveys
Right, you had
that-
talked about that.
that are all set up for various grade levels, and staff, student, teacher surveys that go out. So I sent you a Hartman, a 5th and 6th grade student, staff, and on the Ellwood
School
one, I shared it because I just shared, it's a Google form survey that would go out. What did I say, student, staff, and parent for 5th and 6th grade. And the reason you do that is you get different perceptions of what the teachers think is going on in the school, what the kids think, and what the parents think. So they're very similar questions that all three groups get. So students, teachers may have one perception of the climate of the school and how things are going, and then you all of a sudden you get results from parents and students, and things are different, or vice versa. So that's the whole idea behind surveying the three groups with very similar questions. So
And
you can take a look.
one came home, because I have a second grader.
That's a Title I survey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so that
that's-
wasn't from
Title I
us.
has to
Oh.
survey the Title I schools as part of the parent involvement.
Do
So
we get the
we're in
results?
What?
Do we get the results?
I'm not sure. That'll go to
We can request.
principals, yeah, we'll get.
Yeah, we can.
Just
I don't-
for
I
a
mean,
parent,
they're-
that was,
they're-
they had, were decent questions.
Right.
And
Very
there was-
similar
There were a lot of
questions,
questions, it was
yeah.
front and back.
Yeah.
But that's a Title I required survey that has to, Title I sends you and you have to send it out to parents. So-
I was impressed. I thought, wow, we were quick. I didn't even remember.
Yeah.
That's what
So I read
that's-
it and I saw it was
emailed
Title
him. I
I.
said, did we send out the survey?
No, I thought that first. I
Yeah,
saw
but
that
if
it
we
said
could
Title
get
I.
that back, then we don't have to send, because that's another thing, sending another one out to the parents, or is it gonna get on their nerves now because we're sending,
Well, this was supposed to be just online, like on the website, on our
Oh,
high school
okay.
website for, so that's where my thought process was with starting it. I have no problems doing that if everybody's in agreement. I'm good with that, but I was hoping to get just, like I said, I don't want to overwhelm them. 2 questions, just, teachers, students, parents, and just kind of get a feedback of what they're thinking about a couple topics. And I was just hoping we all could agree on a couple quick topics and get them up so that we get some feedback as we're going into making our, plans for the future and, curriculum stuff and so on. I think one of the questions should be curriculum, especially at the high school level for the kids to see what their interests lie and so on. Yes?
Do you want open-ended questions? Or is this more of like a A, B, C, D kind of question?
I would probably stay away from open-ended questions. You need somebody to read all those and quantify the results. It's gonna be probably difficult to do that unless we're gonna have our administrators.
Well, I thought SurveyMonkey kind of grouped them. That's kind of what Mr. Pictionary had said. If you use like SurveyMonkey, it kind of grouped them together and tabulated the results and then sent them back to you. My thought was, like curriculum, sending it out to the high school 7 through 12. What would you like to see, what new, areas would you like to see open up in the high school? something, you know, basic, but something that's very important to them. You know, what do they see is something, you know, that's, you know, where their thoughts are on the school and so on. Parents the same way. But I agree with you, it can't be, we don't want paragraphs coming back. Hopefully those people are gonna come and speak to us directly. But,
What, so I know before everybody got here, I was here, Mr. Macy was talking about the email that he sent to you. I guess you didn't see it, but like, what kind of questions did you have proposed?
It's a
And how many
PD,
questions?
well, I mean, it varies. I mean, for younger kids, it's less, and as you get to the high school kids, it's more questions. A lot of it is just.
this is all Hartman.
Yeah, that was just all Hartman. That's,
I have it right here. Which would you like to see?
Oh, you got
The
it.
staff, student, or parent? There are 3 different ones, the way he has them set up. Would you rather look at one versus another?
Can you pass them on to everyone else?
Yeah, could you just
Sure.
email them to us because?
Sure.
Then we can.
Sorry.
Yeah, and
you
like
guys are
I said,
running- yeah.
this is Hartman, and I you know, I think that.
I have one for I have one for
High
Perry.
school, so on and so forth.
The only one I don't have is, they don't recommend, obviously, student 1, K1 and 2. So you have a
Oh.
parent, staff. one.
More cookies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm for that.
Extra
nap time.
recess.
Yeah.
So you got parent, staff survey for Northside, all 3 for the other 3 buildings, parent, staff, student.
Actually, I like the student one too, for the younger
Sure.
kids, that's,
Yeah.
I like it, it's a good idea.
I mean, I don't know, you know, if this is online, that would be something, you're not gonna have those little ones online unless they do it in school, and the teachers are going to help them go on and plug that in. But the high school kids, I mean, and the parents, we can direct that, you know, even with like a robocall out there saying, there's a survey online on our website, everybody, you know, we'd like you to take a few minutes to go on and address them. But are there any specific topics that we wanna hit? Like, I'd like to see, you know, especially the high school, the curriculum,
Mhm.
because I'd like to see what the kids have interest in right now and try to get them to wanna be here. Any other main issues?
But I guess not until we see what questions are on there.
I could, I'm trying to think how I can do this. Because it's a Google form, it's online, you know, it's not a paper survey, so you, like, she was able to, like Renee's able to get it because we created a Ellwood City Google account for her to look at the motions or whatever. What do you call it? The communicator. So I'll have to ask Ellen how I could share it out with people who don't have an Ellwood City
So
account.
if I forward this, they won't get this. They won't be able to.
I'm
open
not
it.
100%. You could try, they may have to ask for permission to view it and permission from me because I'm the creator. And then you could probably view it then, so. But that's just a 5th and 6th grade one. I have one, I could
But
send,
that
there's
at
11
least
of
gives
them.
us an idea, though,
Yeah.
I'm sure
And
they're
you
all
can add- it's all- You
comparable.
can delete questions, you can add questions, you can, it's
Right.
all, so,
I just sent it to you, Matt, so you can play and find out. We'll be able to straighten it out
Yeah.
on the way up.
okay.
Does anybody else have anything else under new business this evening? Because we have another meeting to attend, so. Yes, Mr. Newcomer?
Something under recognition, I was out of town, but I understand that Albert's won section.
Yep, there's 4, yeah, indeed, for Good
Very
Meals
good.
this weekend, so.
Awesome.
Who else advanced?
Can't remember.
Carter McMurdo, I think is one. Albert's just the other one, and there's 2 more. It's on ellcity.org.
Yeah. Tyler Baird. Impressive.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
And Jen and I, we attended the girls' basketball banquet. It was a great time. We had a great time. They have a lot of heart. The coaches are great. We had a great time.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, the food was good.
Okay, anything else? Otherwise.
Motion to adjourn.
To adjourn, second by Ms. Morella. Meeting adjourned.
We have to vote which,
They asked me to bring
What
these
drive
in.
through your
Yeah, what
We
drive
had to
through?
change they had the wrong depository. So, you, Renee,
Yeah, you can give her a little extra time.
It's not that bad.
I'll pick you up at the door.
Notice where Erica parked?
I made my own handicap parking.